We're just out for a after dinner walk. There's the guys. Dorothy's got her camera, and we got some. He goes, "Hey, handsome." Aha! And we got some beautiful skies over there. Look what we're what?
When you're gonna buy Marty Papa a toy ocean?
Oh, one of these days. We're not worried about that now. We're looking at the beautiful sky. Yeah, that's not for a long time. Christmas time. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful skies tonight. We always seem to get a beautiful sunset here. It's just like every night. One thing we really like about this area, the air seems so much cleaner than when we lived in Cavite. And the one thing I noticed about the jeepneys here too, you don't see any of these old smokies. You know, the ones that are just billowing the diesel and blue smoke. You know, like Beatarinos. I don't know if that's because they just have newer ones here or that the smoke belching actually works. You know, I've seen the smoke belching already. I was waiting in there to get mine smoke belched, and there was a fella in there with two-stroke that was just billowing smoke, so they just shut it off and took a picture of it. You know, that's just what they do here. I don't know what the smoke belching is really about. You know, it's just a way for them to get money, I guess. So there's our neighbor with his puppies. But they take nice care of those little pups, cute little pups. Hey, neighbor. So, but we're gonna walk here a little bit, and we'll cut up and down the other street, see if we can see some bats. It might be too early over the field, but it just is beautiful. You know, we're still getting that beautiful sky over there.
Dorothy and Marty and me walk around the block, and Marty was changing, and Dorothy and me walk around the block.
Okay, well, be careful. Well, let's go up this street right here. Let's go up this one and walk into that beautiful sunset. Do you guys have enough to eat?
Yeah.
It's pretty good? Watch out for the hole there, guys. We got a lot of pitfalls there.
And again, 100 times.
We got to watch across from our house. There's directly across in the grass there, they looked like there was a glass cutter, and he left a whole bunch of glass there, so I got to watch the kids don't go in there and slip and fall and get all chopped up. I'm probably going to have to go in there and clean it up myself. They just seem to throw this stuff around, and they don't even think. But there's some more of that sky. My goodness, isn't that something? Red sky at night, sailor's delight. It's just kind of pretty. We seem to get just beautiful skies out here. The air seems so much cleaner. The big thing that I've noticed, the kids also, because we're always cleaning their noses, and mine too. When we were in Carmona, just even if we stuck around the house for a while, we always had to, get the Kleenex and pick your nose, and it's all just full of dirt, just nasty. Here, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. So, seems like the air is much cleaner here. Maybe because we're closer to the ocean, I don't know. We always got a steady breeze. Our house, though, is not as dusty as it was in Carmona. We got a little bit of dust on top of the cabinets. I wiped them down before I put stuff up there. And there's just a little bit. I noticed it today when I pulled the pan down to make an omelet. And there was a little bit, so I had to wash the pan off. But it's minor compared to what we had in Carmona. The fans, we were having to clean them once or twice a week from all the static would just attract all this dust and crap. But it's not so bad. Yeah, we're gonna go down that way, Maddie. Come on, guys. Come on. But I just want to walk over this field over here and see if we can see any of these bats. There were so many the other night, and they do, to me, they look like a brown fruit bat. I can't really see if they get the fuzzy back and the brown on them, but I'm trying to get as close as I can to them to see them. But a lot of different kind of bats here in the Philippines. When I was in Leyte, the one bat I saw, it almost looks like a dachshund or a Doberman head on this thing, and it was the most beautiful black. We hunted them with these marble guns, They're just made out of PVC plastic. You put a marble in them,
No, I'm not.
and then you squirt a little gas in the cylinder, and they use a barbecue or a stove piezo igniter, and you shoot these bats. Those guys were eating them up too. They were cooking them and eating them, but they were a really beautiful black bat and big. I mean, these things would hang down, I don't know, from their feet to the tip of their head, hanging upside down, was probably 1.5 feet, I would say, for most of them. Maybe some were a little longer. But they were really beautiful. They just had the shiniest black coat on them, and they flew around. They had teeth. They had some serious teeth on them too. But here's where we saw the bats the other night. But it's too early right now, I think. Okay, guys, let's head on. Let's go ahead and head on back. I wanted to see if there were some bats, but I didn't see any. There's a nice house there. I don't see anyone in that one. Hey guys, we had the battery took a poo while we were walking, but we seen pretty much what we wanted to see. We got this area cleaned up a little bit the other day, and did hear some pretty cool news. I heard that Tropical Tim's sweetheart made it. So I haven't seen anything that he's putting out any stuff right now. He's probably pretty busy now. But I'm glad she made it into town. Wished her well. I hope her 10 days goes good in the queue. And hopefully they don't hit him at the end. Yeah, we're going to go as soon as I'm done with this, okay? My two handsome boys. Did you like your dinner?
Rickshaw out.
Rickshaw out. Good boy.
Mommy was day, and one was walking day. Mommy go day.
Oh yeah. Well, you know something. We're going to start as soon as we get a nice, wrought iron table and chair. Mommy and Daddy are going to sit up there and have coffee, and in the morning you guys can come out there and sit with us if ever you want to.
No, I'm gonna turn on the robots now.
Yeah, okay. You can turn them on if you want. We picked up some. This was quite a while back, and they were in a box. And we picked up those little. They're robots. They work like the little car that bumps into the wall and then they turn around. But these are little vacuum cleaners. So we turned them loose on the floor today. Charged them up and turned them loose. And I was really surprised. I was very surprised how well they worked. They cruised around the living room for about 15 minutes or so. We turned them both loose, and then they picked up a lot of stuff. I was amazed. Now, they'll miss certain spots. They got like a pre-programmed thing, so they missed. But the cool thing was it went underneath the stove, and I had spilled some stuff when I was doing some rice went on, and it actually picked it up. It was in the little catch. So it drove underneath the stove. That was cool. And then it came out from the stove and hugged the wall. The one stayed out in the middle of the floor and did a really cool job. And then Maddie took it up on the balcony because the balcony's a little bit dusty, and you could see the path that it was taking. He just left it run up there and then came downstairs and just left it run, and we went back up. Still didn't run out the battery. Dang thing was up there for about a half an hour, and there was only a couple little spots where you could still see the dust. That was kind of amazing, but they're working really good. I like the little catch thing that you get. There's a screen in there. It seems to be moving good air. It'll suck anything it runs over. It's pretty much sucking it up. So that was kind of cool. So we'll be using them. That was just something I saw in there when I was buying. That's why I bought from Lazada, because if you bought something from this one store, you got one of these things. So I had bought two. So I got two of them. I actually called them up and said, "Hey, I'm going to buy two of these. Do I get two each?" They're, "Yes, sir. You can have two of them." So they were like a throw-in freebie thing, and they work great. When I first looked at them, I thought, these things are just cheap. And I threw them in the box because they weren't for our old house; they were for here. And then I just happened to dig them out today, and we still have boxes that. I just opened up another one today, got my tripod out, so I could try that out. I did the one video, and it was, the camera was shaking a little bit. I'm holding it now. I don't have my tripod set up right now, but because we were walking, but I want to get that set up. I hope that down the road, maybe the next month or two, if our buddy Tropical Tim can come, we can do a live stream. I'd like to do like a podcast thingy. I think when I get maybe some of you guys whoever has this, because I don't, I'll have to look in the owner's manual. Somebody did send me the owner's manual online. I couldn't get the thing downloaded. Well, they downloaded it and then sent it to me as like a PDF or something. So I actually have that. It's hard to read on my phone, but I can magnify it, and I'm trying to get through that thing. But I don't know, and maybe if somebody does, on this thing here it has Wi-Fi. It has two separate Wi-Fi things on the menu. One of them is regular Wi-Fi, and then one shows like a little satellite with the Wi-Fi. I guess that's for if you need a stronger signal. And then, of course, it's got Bluetooth. And I don't know if I can go like to StreamYard or just to YouTube to go online directly with this camera instead of having to go through the phone or something. Because right now what I have to do with this camera, as soon as I'm done making this video, I have to load it to the phone through Bluetooth. I just leave this on, and then I turn on I turn on the Wi-Fi. I turn on the Wi-Fi on the phone, and then as soon as I see the Wi-Fi blinking, then I go to KindMaster, or I go to the program for this thing, and then I just hit OK, and it'll pull up that video, and then I can hit it's a download. It loads it to the phone, and it usually it does. Sometimes some of these videos take 15-20 minutes. It's just really slow. And if the camera shuts itself off like this one, before I do that, I have to load them, both videos actually. I have to, if there's 2 or 3 wherever it's shut off, I have to load those into the Sony app, and then I have to get them from the Sony app and go into another Video Guru so that it'll stick them together. And that is incredibly slow. And I try to do it at a low bit rate and all this. I got it at 30, and sometimes I do 720 or even 480 just to try to speed it up. And sometimes it'll take half an hour or longer. And then once I do that, then I got to put it in the KindMaster and do my stuff I do on there. And then I usually watch it, make sure everything came out good. But it's just it would be nice if I could do what I'm doing right now, live, straight to YouTube. That would be so cool. It would just save such a hassle. We're still debating on the PLDT or this Signal. It's the red dish Signal with the C. We have our friend came over and said that the PLDT here, he has a store over here, and then he has a house also. He said the PLDT here is horrible. If anybody in the Batangas area knows anything about that, let me know. He said it's out all the time, and they use it at his store, and it's just out all the time, and they still want you to pay. They don't care if it's out for half of the month. They still want you to pay the full bill. So that's why I don't like them. So he said he put in the Signal. It's the little red satellite dish, and he says the internet goes out on that too, but he said at least when the internet goes out, you still got cable TV, so you can watch cable if you want or whatever. We don't really do a lot of the cable TV watching, but like for me, I don't do much TV at all. I do get when we do have a place where I could load, like when we were at her brother's place, he had a really good internet, and then when we go to my buddy Ronald's or when we go to Odin's place, my wife and I will both load movies onto the phone. And then what'll happen, I just got Lawrence of Arabia. That was one of my favorite movies. And I loaded it to the phone, and then we can watch it. We can watch it right through the Samsung TV. And that little trivia on that movie, by the way, was no women in that movie. They may have showed women walking or something like that, but they had no lines or anything. There were no lines for women in the entire movie. So that was pretty cool. And I had an uncle one time. We were at his place, and when I got there, he just happened to be watching that. And he was in England, and then he was this is during World War II, of course, a different time and all that. But he said he doesn't know how it was back then, but he said during World War II there were a lot of women. He says you couldn't go into any officer's area or anything like that. He was a pilot, by the way, and an officer. And he said there was a lot of women, more so than the U.S. So I don't know how it was, maybe over there, and that was over by Turkey and all them places. Maybe they just kept them away. That was a heck of a place. But I loved that movie, and I do got some good movies. I had Sling Blade on there. That was one of my favorite. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou? I loved that movie. Another one of my absolute favorite was Little Big Man. If you guys ever seen that, that's a fantastic movie. I like The Usual Suspects. That was another good one. I have these on the phone, and as long as I have a connection every 30 days, it keeps them. And I had that the 1 terabyte card that I had them all loaded on that. For a while I couldn't. Something happened with an update on that Samsung phone, and I couldn't do anything with the card. I couldn't load pictures to it. I couldn't do anything, and you couldn't even go to it. Nowhere I could find it on the phone. And somebody said, "Oh, if you take it out and put it back in," and I thought, "Oh boy, I'd hate to lose everything on it," but I just waited. Then there was another update, and then when the last update come, I thought, I'll just update it again. Here another 2 weeks apart, and there's another update, and the SIM card came back. So I was able to put all the pictures were on the SIM card. Every picture I take or screenshot I take goes to the SIM card. It's just for that couple of weeks from the one update to the other, none of them did. So I was able to put all those on there, and then all the movies came back. I had a whole bunch of the movies that I downloaded came back, so that was really cool. I like that. Some of them movies I'll watch them over. Sling Blade, I've watched that a few times. There's a lot of good movies that we like, and my sweetie and I'll sit up and eat popcorn and watch movies after the kids go to bed sometimes, and it's just something we like to do. I'm not really into any TV shows. I don't remember, like when I was in the States last time, some of my friends and their wives, they would have these shows that they watched, and if we were over there, and some of the stuff that was on TV just to me was just utter trash. Like a lot of people like that show called Friends. I watched that a couple times and I was like, I liked Matthew Perry and the whole 9 yards, but I thought, that there were some hacks in there that's the only thing they could ever get. But Matthew Perry was so much more. What was he doing there with a bunch of hacks? It's just what it seemed to me, terrible. But that's the way that goes. But we're looking to get some kind of internet in here pretty quick. We're just waiting right now. The PLDT people were here, but they're pushing for this 2300 peso one, and the lines are in over here already, and they it's a fiber optic. It's a little small fiber optic compared to what I've seen before, but it's a fiber optic, and they're talking about these speeds, but most of these places, if they got that fiber optic in there and you get the lower one, you're probably going to get the upper one already. They just push you in for that because and they're pushing it. They're really you got to get this, you got to get this. Well, no, I'll just tie off from over there, run me a line over. But we still got to apply, but we haven't made up our mind yet. I want to I'm waiting to see the guy over here because he has it, and there's another person over there. But since I decided I'm considering it, I haven't seen him out to talk to him, and I'm not going to go bang on their door. Hey, Mr. Bathy, want me to put some oil on your hair, mister?
Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put some oil on the hair. We got some of this argan oil that we buy, and I mix it a little bit with some baby oil, put it on their hair, keeps it nice and neat, and then they look good, huh?
Yeah.
All right, and you want to do the honors?
Picture of.
That's my beautiful Maddie boy. You guys all take care, and don't forget to pray for each other.